Hello and welcome back to the Smart Start Recreational Therapy Insights YouTube channel by Smart CU's Hub. I'm your host, Nathan Lemaster, the founder of Smart CU's Hub, and we are on to week 13, folks. We've been going through different aspects of recreational therapy, from physical disabilities to what is recreational therapy to assessments. And today, folks, we're going to go into another domain of area that we work with a lot of times as recreational therapists, and that is adaptations for cognitive and developmental disabilities. So many recreational therapists throughout the US and Canada, that is the client base that we work with. And sometimes that is where, in the community sector in particular, a lot of RT entrepreneurs start their own businesses servicing these clients. So today, we're going to be going over a lot of different aspects in this, and I am so stoked to be helping you through this whole process. So people that are in this community could be people with autism, traumatic brain injuries, intellectual disabilities, dementia, and we play a vital role in their recovery and being able to interact with life. We are going to learn how to adapt activities, work on communication skills, and the environments to support the cognitive and developmental needs of these clients. So guys, without any further ado, let's dive right in. So understanding cognitive and developmental disabilities. So before diving into the adaptations that we might implement, let's understand the range of cognitive and developmental disabilities you may encounter as a recreational therapist. So some common diagnoses that we might come across are autism spectrum disorders. So they might have challenges with communication, sensory processing, and social interactions. Intellectual disabilities, so IDD, and they might have limitations in their reasoning, learning abilities, and problem-solving abilities. Traumatic brain injuries, so they might have memory loss, attention difficulties, executive functioning challenges, depending on what part of the brain was damaged. Dementia and Alzheimer's. A lot of rec therapists work in nursing homes as well as, in the community with senior citizens, and sometimes they develop types of dementia. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, so people with ADHD, they might have difficulties with attention, hence the name. Impulse control and hyperactivity. People with Down syndrome or genetic disorders. Very cognitive impairments, they could be dealing with physical differences as well. So some common challenges that these populations might have when participating in recreation and leisure pursuits. So they might have difficulty following complex directions, might have a short attention span or be easily distracted. They might have sensory difficulties, for instance, like the sounds, the lights, textures of the things that you're using, social anxiety or difficulty with peer interactions, memory or processing speed challenges. So depending on the activity and how complex it is, that could be something that they're dealing with. Each client's needs are unique, and with the right adaptations, we can empower individuals to engage in meaningful activities that support cognitive growth and social interaction. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some key adaptations for cognitive and developmental disabilities. Adapting activities for cognitive and developmental needs involves simplifying sometimes, structuring the activity, personalizing the activity, and here are some key strategies that you can use to do those things. So to simplify instructions and tasks, we might use clear, concise language. So we're going to break down instructions into 1 or 2 steps at a time. Visual supports, sometimes using pictures, symbols, or written prompts can help to simplify an instruction. Like, for instance, instead of saying turn right, a right arrow. All right, so now we're going to talk about some key adaptation strategies for cognitive and developmental disabilities. So adapting activities for cognitive and developmental needs involves simplifying the activity a lot of times It could be structuring the activity or how it's structured. It could be personalizing the activity. And here are some key strategies that you can use. So one, simplify the instructions and tasks. That could be using clear, concise language, breaking down instructions into 1 or 2 words. Could be visual aids like pictures or symbols. Instead of saying turn left or having the words turn left, it might be a left hand arrow. That could be what you're using. Modeling and demonstration. So a lot of times, instead of visually or just hearing something auditorily, sometimes the best way to communicate is to demonstrate how something is done. And so that could be just doing the activity with the person, showing them step-by-step instructions. So like, let's say it's move your left leg. So we're going to move the left leg. That's will be the first instruction. Then we're going to move the right leg. Could be the second instruction. Okay, then it could be turn. Whatever the thing is that you're trying to do. That's just one simple way that you can do it. But demonstrating how to do the activity will actually help it to sink in a little bit better. We're going to provide structure and routine. Okay, so predictable schedules, creating a consistent routine to help clients feel more secure and prepared for what they're about to do and give them a little more confidence. We're going to use visual schedules. Display step-by-step visuals or calendars to guide clients through the session. So we're going to break it down into parts, make it really simple for people to follow and to understand. We're going to set clear boundaries and expectations. So we're going to front load what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it, and then afterwards we're going to process it. Okay, just like we do with any type of session in RT. Okay, we're going to adapt the sensory environment for those that have sensory needs. So we're going to reduce overstimulation. So if there is something we're trying to get someone to pay attention to, let's say they have ADHD, we're not going to put them in a room with lots of other things on the walls, music blaring, other people having side conversations, things that can distract a person. Because what we're doing is we're setting them up to have a very difficult experience. We're going to provide sensory tools. So offer noise canceling headphones. That could be something for someone who has autism that reacts strongly to sounds. Fidget tools for someone who has ADHD, something that they can play with in their hands. Those fidget toys, I know that they're a lot of times really simple. The little spinner or the one that like my daughter has, which is a button that she just clicks over and over and over again, gives her something else to kind of bring her back to what she's doing. Or textured objects to support self-regulation. So sometimes holding a blanket and it's soft. I know my wife and my daughter, I'm going to bring another wife and my daughter story in here. They have these tags on these blankets that they just like rub in with their fingers, and it helps them feel calm and secure and helps them to pay attention to what's going on. We're going to encourage choice and autonomy. So we're going to offer choices, let clients choose from a few activity options to increase their motivation and engagement because they chose it, right? Flexible participation levels. We're not going to just say this is how you have to do it. We're going to give them options even in how they participate in the activity. Okay, so by simplifying the instructions, creating routines, offering choices, we help clients feel empowered, engaged, and supported in every session. All right, so now some recreational therapy interventions specifically tailored to individuals with cognitive and developmental disabilities. So we're going to break this down into different areas. So creative arts and music therapy could be one segment. That can include art projects with step-by-step instructions, visual guides, and our goal is to focus on the process rather than the final product. So we want them to be able to participate, enjoy it, learn the basic skills that go into doing the thing, We're not looking for somebody to paint the next Mona Lisa or the next Picasso. We might run across that. I mean, that is very possible, but that talent is very unique. So music and rhythm activities. So group drumming, might be a thing that we're doing. Sing-alongs, simple instrument playing. So we might have instruments that are where people can participate with the instruments in however way they feel they can do it. We might even do storytelling and role play. So those that are little hams and they like to act, it might be time to put on a play or to make a band where somebody's playing an instrument, somebody's singing. That could be part of the engagement and get that creative outlet going. Could be sensory activities, so sensory-based activities, such as like a sensory PlayStation, so incorporating textured materials, water play, tactile objects, things that they can grab with their hands and squish and twist and all that. Movement-based activities like yoga, dance, going on walks, hikes, can help with self-regulation and motor dysfunction. Nature walks, going outside, being outside in nature, can give that calming effect of, being around the trees and listening to the birds chirp and being in a safe space. We might even work on social and team building activities. So that could be cooperative games, simplified team games such as parachute games, relay races, trivia, if it's, appropriate for the group, that promote turn taking and cooperation. Peer buddy programs. So pairing clients with peer mentors to foster social skills and to build their confidence. Board games with adaptive rules. So we could use a game like Uno, and we might say, okay, with this game, what we're going to do is we're going to look for matching colors, and that's all we're going to do. Or this time we're going to look at numbers, whatever you're wanting to do. But you can modify a game to make it even more simple if the need arises, right? Cognitive stimulation activities. That could be puzzles or problem-solving games, so adapted for their skill levels. These activities promote memory and cognitive flexibility. Doing a puzzle, like an actual jigsaw puzzle, or maybe it is, doing a word search. Those types of things can help with strengthening the brain. Memory or recall exercises. So using familiar songs. So let's say you're working with clients who have dementia. A lot of times with dementia, they might forget their family members even, or they might forget, what's going on and where they are, and even their own name. But when they hear a song, something from the era that they grew up in, some music that they enjoyed, it's like it bypasses the parts of the brain that are struggling, and they get this like smile on their face and they start singing along. It's a miracle, but it is so cool. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Or old photos, something that is from the time period. They could tell you about a car that they once had, if the car was, an old Jaguar or whatever they drove at the time. Virtual or technology assisted interventions. So apps on a tablet, that could actually be useful. Sometimes people who have autism, for instance, interact really well with things that are screens, and there might even be people on the screen. But because there's a screen there, they can make visual eye contact with the person. They can do all those things. But if it was just you and me right here, that might be difficult. So it could be something that they're using to kind of continue learning, maybe reading or other things that they're enjoying to do. So the interventions not only support cognitive growth, but they foster joy, connection with others, and confidence for the clients, which is really important, right? So that is what we're doing as recreational therapists. Sometimes a person isn't like going to, be able to solve the most complex math problems in the world. I know I can't, right? I might not be able to. I can't even play an instrument, guys. So I want to point that out. but it might be something that I learn a few notes on, or a song even to play. But I might not be Van Halen. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's really about the enjoyment, the participation in the thing, rather than being the best there ever was. Okay? All right, encouraging confidence and long-term engagement. So we want people to feel confident in what they're doing, feel that sense of flow. Where somebody's doing an activity and it's something they enjoy and has just enough challenge to keep them interested. For me personally, that's the game of chess. Chess gets harder as you play harder opponents, and I love the challenge of trying to outsmart my opponent. That is something fun for me. But for your clients, that could be building client confidence by celebrating small wins that they have. So it might be being able to do something they weren't previously able to do. That could be recognizing even small progress to keep them motivated. Like, hey, you did a good job today. Way to go with that basket. You scored a goal. Encouraging peer support, fostering friendships and peer connections to build a sense of community, involving their families, in the ongoing care so that their families can learn what they can do with their loved ones when they're no longer seeing you as the rec therapist, and promote independence. Gradually increase the challenge and help the client to build that confidence so they continue doing the thing that they enjoy doing. Maybe it's something new that you brought to their attention that they now love. This is so cool now that they get to do this thing. So when we focus on their strengths, provide supportive environments, and offer engaging activities, we create opportunities for clients of all abilities to have fun and to thrive. Now we're on to the wrap up and takeaway. So today, we talked about a lot of different things. So let's break it down into a few things. So cognitive and developmental disabilities present unique challenges. Yes, we talked about that. But with the right adaptations, clients can fully participate in meaningful activities. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, 2, adapt activities. All right, 2, adapt activities by simplifying instructions, creating structure, and managing sensory input, and then offer them choices. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, recreational therapy interventions. That could be from creative arts to sensory play to physical exercise to being out in nature, all those things that we spoke about earlier. And then 4, build their confidence so that they can have long-term engagement and thrive with the activities that you're giving them. That can include also helping their family members to learn those skills that they can work with them continuously after they're no longer seeing you as a recreational therapist. All right, that's it for week number 13 of the Smart Start Recreational Therapy Insights YouTube channel. I'm your host, Nathan LeMaster, and I thoroughly enjoy doing these for you each and every week. Next week, we're going to be talking about working with older adults. So a lot of recreational therapists work in nursing homes, assisted livings, independent living communities, just work in the community itself with seniors. And we'll be talking about some interventions. We'll be talking about things that you need to know working with this population. But yes, if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. What it'll do is help the algorithm of YouTube know that this is the content that you want to keep seeing. Also help us know that this is the content that you find valuable, and help people that aren't recreational therapists know a little bit more about what we do as recreational therapists. So guys, thank you guys so much. Forgive my mispronunciation of some words every once in a while. I'm working hard on communicating even better. But thank you guys so much. And as always, recreational therapists, I hope you have a good week and stay classy.